I'm a speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team and a teaching partner with Empowered Living. The first half of my life, I literally was trapped by the opinions of other people. And then in my spare time, I was a people pleaser. And when I say a people pleaser, I am not kidding you. I would go out and ask 100 people what they thought about whatever the thing was, from what I should wear, how, what my hair should look like, what I should eat, what restaurant I should go to. It was ridiculous. And then if that wasn't enough, to top it all off, I had a broken mindset. The unfortunate part about all of that is that I could not see it because I was so close to it. I was totally unaware. And then one day I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't know if any of you have ever been there. It's just not a happy place. But I decided to just take a step in the direction of my dreams. And I was willing to bet on myself for the first time. And I invested in me. I took one step in the direction of my dreams. I had no clue how I was going to get to where I was going, but I knew why I wanted to get there. And if you know the why, you will figure out the how along the way. So if you're looking for perfect, you might want to just skip this podcast because this is not the perfect one. But I believe we're all imperfectly perfect. I'm super excited. I cannot wait for you to meet today's guest. Tina is full of life. She's just full of energy. She is just the big picture kind of girl you want on your team. She's here today. You will discover that she is truly a jolt of energy, and she's going to come in, speak to us today, and transform the world and equip us all to become better. Tina, welcome to the show. What are you so excited about today?
Lynn, well, first of all, can I just say, this is my first podcast and I get to be with Lynne.
Oh,
yeah. It's an honor to be on the Gritty Women show. I love it.
Oh, well, we are just super excited to have you. And what a great place, for your first Grand Slam right here with us today. Hey, sister, you are in the right place. So thank you for carving out some time for us today.
Well, thank you. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share a little bit of my journey, and I'm a huge fan. I've been listening to your show, and I know you've inspired so many, and your transformation is incredible. And what you've talked about and what you've been through, I can feel your soul, and you are just a happy, positive, great person. So thank you. Let's do this.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking that life into me, and I receive it, and I say thank you. So talk to us. Tell us.
Okay.
What's happening with you?
Today, one of the things Lynne and I spoke about before coming on here is she really wanted to know what I have learned from everything going on in the world right now. It's a different place, right?
It certainly is. Every second, just about, it changes.
Yes, and change is something that it used to be very difficult for me. I think everybody goes through their own obstacles, their own trials over the years. And that was one thing that change, it really turned my life upside down at a time, because of change means you sometimes lose control, right? You can't control every situation. You can't control what's going on around you. You can control yourself, though, and your attitude and how you take on different challenges that come at you. And so I think the biggest thing that I've learned over this time, and with everything that I do, one thing, Jolt of Energy. Here's Jolt of Energy. I'm about focus, strategy, discipline. So if you're wondering who this Tina is, I am a weight loss specialist, and I help people transform through energy. So whether that's exercise, mindset, how you fuel your system, it's all about energy. And so that ties into today what I wanted to share with you all, which was you can say everything you want. You can say, okay, yes, I know I have to have a great mindset to get through these tough times, right?
Right.
But sometimes we aren't strong enough on our own. Sometimes we need the support of others, and that's okay. And sometimes we have to create that. In fact, Lynn, recently I watched a show. Have you seen, I know it's been out forever, and I'm a huge movie buff, by the way, but it's the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith. Have you seen
No,
that?
I haven't seen it.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Go watch it. I think it was on Netflix. Maybe it was Hulu. But I Am Legend kind of takes you, it's a kind of a sci-fi type. There's, and maybe sci-fi is the wrong word, but zombies, and there's basically a pandemic, right?
Wow.
And Will Smith is he's immune to for some reason, that's why he's legend. He survives. He's also a doctor, and he ends up creating a vaccine that saves everybody from. So in this pandemic, people turn into zombies.
Wow.
So it's a little intense. My husband tells me, honey, you watch that? Like, you don't like scary movies. And typically I don't, but I'll tell you what, it wasn't that. What I got out of it was, how did he cope through this extreme situation? And guess what he did? He created his own support group in this movie. Wow. So I won't tell you everything. I won't ruin it for you, but basically he was the only one. He had his dog, and that was it. And it literally, he was talking to his dog. He went to, I mean, the setting where it is, the buildings were empty. So he created mannequins, like with like people. He gave them names and stories. And so he created his own imaginary support system. So even Will Smith in this movie, it wasn't even a real support system, but what I'm saying is you need support to get through tough times. And one thing he did too is he asked, not only like, in a way, he was asking for help because he got on a radio station. His background was military, so he knew how to use all of the systems. So every day at a certain time, he would say, okay, I'm going to be in this specific location. If you are out there and you are like me, come, I have food, I have shelter, I have everything you need. And he would just repeat that recording every single day. And he would go through the routines every single day. And I think that leads me to not only the support group that he had created, but he also disciplined himself. So when times are unstable and there's so much change, that discipline is what's going to help you thrive and get through those times.
Wow.
So
that is so true. So true. I think that is probably the biggest game changer for all of us, is to establish that discipline so we can have a place to create a result so we can improve the result.
Exactly.
Wow. That's great.
So, and with everything in our lives, right? If we are stuck at home, it's funny because I have a lot of moms that are in my support group that some are stay-at-home moms. Some have, homeschooled, but the majority have not. And so this change in their lives has been so different. And so they'll tell me, as part of weight loss, sleep and stress can play such a huge part on all of that. And they'll tell me, well, our hours are a little bit screwed up right now. We're going to bed at a little different time. Maybe we're eating a little bit differently. We're at home more. I'm a bored, emotional eater. That's probably why I became a weight loss coach, to keep me in focused.
Right.
When you help others, it helps you too stay on that path. But yeah, so I think discipline, that's what's missing. So if you are in that situation where you're at home, you're looking for jobs, you're whatever the case may be, discipline yourselves. And sometimes we turn into this grown up, and we're so sick of being told by our parents, go to bed at this time. And we get to be a grown up and we're like, I don't have to go to bed at this time. I don't have to eat right. I get to do whatever I want. And I think sometimes that freedom and taking away that discipline in our lives is what leads us to spiral and get out of control and lose that control. So in a life right now where we don't have control over a pandemic, we don't have control over what we see in the news, but what we do have control over is our own personal environment. So create the discipline, lean in, get that group support. If you don't have it, make a pretend one, or call me. I would love to be your group support, whatever you're going through. So I think that's what it comes down to, is being okay with everything not being okay, and figuring out ways that you can discipline yourself and create happiness in your life.
Love that. Thank you so much for bringing that point out, that we do need each other. We are so much more alike than we are different. We're all traveling through this life, but experiencing so many of the same things. And I think there's never been a better time for us to lean in and be intentional, to listen with clearer understanding. I love what Brene Brown says. She says it's hard to hate close up, and there's so many people that just don't even love themselves, much less love other people. And I think when we can create safe environments like you're doing with your life and Jolts of Energy, create an environment where people feel comfortable coming to begin that crucial, change of whatever it is in their life, in your case, health and weight loss, which is an extremely important thing. And we know that there's such a need for it in our country and around the world, but in our country alone, just that one thing, obesity is huge and rampant, and is such an important part linked to our health. And I don't believe that we'll ever really be able to be all we were created to be until these areas of our life are tackled. I won't say under control, because honestly, I don't know. We're not in control. I don't know that we weren't in control 120 days ago. We just thought we were,
It's true.
It's so true, but it's so great to know that you are committed and passionate to equip, women and men and children, whoever needs equipping, but you're there to create a space, where it's safe, where people can come and begin to live the life that they were designed to. I think there's so many women that are living the life that they think they're supposed to live. They are who they are, but not who they were designed to be. And there's a difference.
Right.
So we just have to look at life going, wow, you know what? It's not happening to us. It's happening for us. And there's a reason. I mean, I'm sitting here, during the last 90 days, and I packed on 5 pounds. Where that came from? Well, I do know it came from the pantry. I would just drift in there from time to time. But, so now I'm in that process of that reset, so I believe we all have areas of our life that we're in the reset. So tell us, how can people get in touch with you, Tina?
Okay, so you can follow me on my Instagram page. It is my handle is at Jolt of Energy. So simple, Jolt of Energy. And truly, what I love that you mentioned, and on something on your show, I noticed because you have gone through your own weight loss journey. Is that right? That's kind of what I
Yes,
gather.
yes, I have. I've lost in the last year 25 pounds.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Awesome. You can't hear me clap, I guess. I'm celebrating
I hear
with you.
and cheering all the way. Thank you so much for that. Yeah.
And I think one of the things that makes me unique as, because, you know, anybody can go out there. There's so many resources when it comes to wellness. There's so many different programs you can do. And what I try to do is help take out the confusion, work together, create something that makes you happy. I believe that weight loss should be happy and fun. And if it's not, you better figure out something else, because we want to live life fully and have that joy. And I guess what I want to say is, if you have tried things, we've always tried things, you know, out there, and it's not working, you're feeling stuck, that's when, those are the people I want to help. Do you feel stuck? Then I want to help you get past that. And we dive in deep. Like, you have to lean in, you have to break down those walls. This is no judgment. Like you said, everything I do is out of love. And we have all done things in our past. And the biggest thing I want people to get out of doing something with me is that they are loving their self today, tomorrow. Not that person, not that image that they want to see right now, but that they love themselves right now. That positive affirmations, the feeding our souls with good things, you know, and loving ourselves, like creating that self-love again. I think that's all where it comes from. And when you have that self-love, that is where growth happens, and you will beam your children. The people in your lives will see that difference. So it's not about the scale. It's not about losing inches. Yes, do I want to help 100 people zap 20 pounds in 2020? Yes, I do, not because of the outside, what they're going to look like, but that transformation that they're going to feel on the inside, that confidence, having that support system, and just loving life, even when times are hard. That's what I want for people, is to know that everything will be okay.
Wow, that is so awesome. And that is truly the purpose of, you know, of what we do here, and what the Gritty Women movement is all about, because so many women that I'm working with and coaching and training, I just hear this sadness in their voice and in their story, and they just do not feel like they're enough. And then if it's not that, they feel like they're too much, you know, so they're just stuck in this mindset of
what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
Could I add to that real quick?
Yes.
So speaking of Will Smith,
yeah.
not his show, but I'm a huge believer in personal development, and I love inspirational YouTube videos. I'm an addict when it comes to that. And one of them, Will Smith, is on there, and he talks about how self-esteem is not based off of what other people think of you, which goes right into that. They feel I'm too much or I'm not enough. You're just you, right? And he said it's like looking into a broken mirror, and you're trying to, you know, create that image of you being whole in that broken mirror that everybody's telling you should be this, you should be that, you should do this. And instead, just looking at you, being you, living your passion, living the way that fills your soul with so much goodness that you have energy every single day.
That's exactly right. And when you will wake up every day excited to put your feet on the floor. You will not hit the snooze button of life.
No.
You will be ready to go
out. You don't
out
even want to sleep.
I know, exactly. I swear I say that all the time, but if I didn't have to for health, I wouldn't. I think I could just go 24/7, but I'm very aware that, sleep is one of the, one of the biggest things that we have to have. And so that's
Absolutely.
something I have created a new pattern for even in my life. But, as we wrap up today and think about, this gritty women movement, what part of gritty just resonates with you the most?
Well, I think I'm going to tie it back to what we were talking about, and not that self-esteem and not feeling like enough or you're too much. And one thing I have said for many, many years is just be yourself and you can't go wrong. Because if you are being yourself genuinely every day, the people that you're attracting are those people into your life that want to see you be you. They don't want to change you. So I think being gritty means just be yourself and love who you are. Just celebrate who you are. And that to me is what grit is.
Wow, that is so awesome. And it is so true. Just you do you. And it's what the Y in gritty stands for. You're amazing. You're one in a bazillion, gamillion. There's nobody that has your fingerprint, your heartbeat, and your voice. And so go out and tell your story, because somebody's waiting to hear it. And everyone, just today, I want you just to remember, that gritty is the new strong and gritty is the new pretty. And the world needs us gritty. So we just need to go out there and shine. And in America, we are celebrating the 4th of July, which is freedom. It just means freedom. But our hope and prayer for the world is that we will all find freedom and walk in who we were created to be, and walk together to make the world the best. So thank you again for tuning in today. Thank you, Tina, for sharing your life with us today. And until next time, let's remember, gritty is the new strong. See you next time.